We have kept telling you that BRICS will soon dethrone the dollar. And guess? The day has come when the dollar hegemony no longer exists. With all BRICS efforts and China's planning, finally, the US no longer enjoys the perks of dollar hegemony. And who will enjoy this power now? The entire world will enjoy the power, as there will be no single nation with a dominant currency. All nations will be given a chance to grow their currency. This will stop any nation from putting restrictions like the US did on Iran and Russia. The de-dollarization was nothing but a way to empower all the currencies in the world. But how did BRICS do it? Let's find out. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our channel. Innovation Diary brings you China's innovation stories, projects, and growing influence in different parts of the world. If you are new to the channel and enjoy learning about fast-paced modernity, especially China's development and growing power, you will find our videos intriguing. In this video, we will discuss how BRICS ended the dollar hegemony in a few months. We will also talk about the impact of dethroning the dollar on the US and Europe. Watch the video till the very end to know what global financial change we are yet to witness. Let's get started. BRICS, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has embarked on a journey to end the hegemony of the US dollar and euro in the global financial system. Their efforts stem from the need to address various economic, political, and financial risks associated with the dominance of Western currencies, and they have successfully ended the dollar hegemony. This is something no one has ever been able to do. The West has always controlled the financial system. The phrase monetary hegemony was coined by Michael Hudson in his book, Super Imperialism. He talked about this concept regarding the US dollar as very powerful and lopsided in its control over the world's economy. Hudson said that organizations like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were part of this powerful system, but BRICS challenged it. And before we talk about how, let's talk about why. What were BRICS' goals and motivations? The foremost goal of BRICS is to challenge the supremacy of the US dollar as the world's primary reserve currency. For decades, the dollar has been the default global currency, and this has allowed the United States to enjoy various economic benefits, such as lower borrowing costs. However, this dominance also exposes BRICS countries to risks caused by external shocks and sanctions. Developing a special drawing rights SDR-like basket currency for BRICS nations could help them build their sphere of influence and unit of currency within their economic bloc. But it is not an easy task, as told by Bloomberg. The use of the US dollar in global trade and finance has created transaction and financial risks for BRICS nations. These risks have incentivized these countries to promote the use of their local currencies in trade. By doing so, they can mitigate the impact of global economic fluctuations and sanctions, which could disrupt their economies. All BRICS members have taken steps to de-dollarize and improve their autonomy in the global financial system. By reducing their dependence on the US dollar, BRICS countries can have more control over their monetary policies and reduce their vulnerability to external economic pressures. This move towards autonomy is vital for ensuring their economic stability and resilience. The combined gross domestic product GDP of the BRICS countries now exceeds that of the G7, and they represent over 40% of the global population. By reducing their reliance on the US dollar and promoting the use of local currencies in trade, BRICS countries could potentially become a more self-sufficient and influential economic alliance. But the question is how BRICS achieved this. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos about China's development, power, and influence on the world. Let's continue now. BRICS countries have actively promoted the use of their currencies in bilateral trade. For instance, China and Russia have increasingly conducted trade in their respective currencies, the yuan and the ruble, instead of using the US dollar as an intermediary. This not only strengthens the use of their local currencies, but also reduces their dependence on the dollar. In 2014, the BRICS set up the New Development Bank (NDB) to provide funding for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in emerging economies. The NDB offers an alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. This initiative fosters financial independence and bolsters the role of BRICS in international financial affairs. While the creation of a separate BRICS currency is considered a long-term and challenging goal, a BRICS-issued currency could potentially reduce the dominance of the US dollar among BRICS members, and it can provide a safe asset for international trade. Such a development would mark a significant step towards achieving financial independence. BRICS countries have been diversifying their foreign exchange reserves. Russia has been increasing its holdings of gold and other currencies, while China has been promoting the use of the yuan in international transactions. This diversification strategy reduces their reliance on the US dollar and strengthens the value of their currencies. Also, BRICS made its currency, and it was the last attack on the dollar hegemony which made it completely powerless. Now the question is, what would be the impact of dethroning the dollar and other Western countries? The potential reduction of dollar hegemony, or a significant shift in the global dominance of the US dollar, could have a wide range of impacts on the United States and Europe. The status of the US dollar as the global reserve currency has provided an edge to the United States. It has allowed the US to borrow in its currency, resulting in lower borrowing costs. If the dollar were to lose its hegemonic status, the US might face higher borrowing costs, reduced access to capital, and lower stock market values. These changes could also affect Europe, given its substantial trade and financial linkages with the US. But this was only benefiting the West. This is why CGTN wrote, "De-dollarization would be beneficial for the world." A decline in dollar hegemony could lead to a reshaping of global power dynamics, potentially leading to a more multipolar financial world. Emerging economies like China, India, and Brazil could gain more influence in global affairs, while the role of the US and Europe could diminish to some extent. This shift in power dynamics would require Europe to adapt to the evolving international landscape. The US dollar's dominance has enabled the United States to wield effective sanctions against its adversaries, providing a powerful tool of foreign policy. If the dollar were to lose its hegemonic status, the US might need to rely more on alternative means to exert its influence, which could impact its geopolitical position. Europe, as a close ally of the United States, might also be affected by these changes in the global geopolitical landscape. The US took benefit of its hegemony and has seized assets of countries like Iran and Russia. BRICS's pursuit of financial independence and the decline of the hegemony of the US dollar and euro in the global financial system signifies a significant shift in the dynamics of the international economic landscape. But one thing is clear with this: China wants to give all countries a chance to strengthen their currency. Beijing is not trying to make the yuan a worldwide currency like the dollar or replace the dollar's top position in the world. Instead, it's working to make the yuan strong in its region by using local Chinese institutions and organizations with neighboring countries. China aims to use the yuan more for trade and investments with its neighboring countries, so it doesn't have to rely too much on the dollar. This helps reduce risks with exchange rates and not having enough dollars when needed. It also ensures China can still access global markets even during international tensions. So with that, other nations get the chance to empower their currency and not rely on the dollar. This way, no nations will be controlled by the US with sanctions. And no doubt, the de-dollarization will not just be beneficial for China or BRICS, but it will be beneficial for the entire world. We would like to take a moment here and appreciate you all for commenting and sharing your opinions. Your insights always impress us. Do you think dethroning the dollar is good for the world? How do you think? The US used dollar hegemony for its benefits. Will it be possible for any nation to gain currency dominance? Let us know in the comments section. Should any nation gain this dominance, even if it's China? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence over the world. Until the next video, stay tuned.